schedule that's established by the SBA.
But it's a lot different, and once it's approved, you already know you have your state
Absolutely.
funding, as opposed to the past where you could vote for a school and not get any state funding.
Tewksbury's ahead of us. They've broke
Right.
ground. They have a contractor. They've started the building. It's $65 million building. I think it's 210,000 square feet. It looks absolutely beautiful, and they're moving forward. So it's kind of exciting to get through.
They're a little bit bigger than we are, right?
Yes,
They're
they
high school,
Yeah.
probably
I forget what they said.
I'm not quite
900 maybe?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
bigger than that, actually.
Oh, I remember, I was talking to Dr. McGrath. It is between 850 and 900 because they had that same design enrollment dilemma,
Right.
and they were trying to get
Boost it
more.
They're
up.
about 100, 150
Yeah.
more than that.
And they.
And their reimbursement rate's about 60%.
About 60.
And it is, it's moving along. We're getting there.
Any questions? Great. Bullying prevention and intervention.
Yes, the revised bullying prevention and intervention plan, copy of it was included in your December 20th packet with minor changes that I just want to identify for you. As you know, we were required to submit our bullying prevention and intervention plan to the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education by by December 31st, I'm sorry. You were going to take the vote to accept at the December 20th meeting, but that was canceled. You had already accepted the draft plan, so you had, but this is the plan that has some changes, minor changes. So I'm going to call your attention to, if you have a copy of your plan in front of you, page 9. On page 9, what we now included was the contact information for each school, which includes the names of the individuals that can be contacted, as well as their telephone numbers or their email addresses if someone would like to report an incident. And so that is now included. These revisions were a result of the online survey that we did, that allowed people to make public comment to the plan because it was posted on the website. So I met with Patrick Daly once we closed that opportunity, and we went through each and every recommendation that had been made by staff and by parents, and made determinations as to what to incorporate to improve the plan. So this was one of those suggestions that was made by a parent. On page 12, it was also suggested that we make reference to our disciplinary code of conduct should an incident occur. So we identified those specific pages in the handbooks at each level where the code of conduct has been outlined. We didn't include the codes of conduct in this plan because it would have added about 5 pages to the plan, but we did want to make reference to where parents could find that information should they be looking for it. And finally, on page 18, you can see that a new incident report form was developed so that those that are making an incident or making a report regarding an incident they're able to fill out this information to be able to facilitate the investigation process. So this is completely new. This was not included in the plan previously. And we took a look at, it was suggested through comments, we took a look at what was included in other plans in neighboring districts, and we adapted it to the North Reading School District. Those are the changes.
And I want to praise the superintendent and the administration. We had training on bullying prevention for everybody on January 3rd, which was the first day that we could have it, basically. And I think we're really ahead of the game with
Very
this.
much so.
Yes.
We received hundreds of comments in terms of feedback. We asked for feedback from the staff that attended the presentation, and by far, people were very pleased with not only the content, but the applicability the very next day to the classroom or to the positions that the staff members held, because so many pragmatic suggestions were made and made that connection between theory and practice. So it was really well received. And we had faculty and staff, our custodial staff was there, food service providers, our central office administrators, our secretarial support, paraprofessionals, our bus drivers, everyone that comes in contact with the students in North Reading was present at this training.
Good.
Yeah, that's really good.
vote to accept the plan.
Any questions, people in the room, or comments? No? Can I have a motion to approve the bullying prevention and intervention plan? Moved by Mr. Rowage, can I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Abstention.
One abstention. Thank you. Great job,
Me.
Karen. Okay, next we have, this FY12 budget. I don't think we have anything new tonight, Carl, do we?
No, just maybe a 60-second report.
Okay.
I'm confident that we are on track to fulfill our obligation to issue the preliminary budget on February 14th. That's been the date we've been targeted all along. We learned at the Friday morning finance planning team that the town general government will issue their budget at about the same time. So the process is on track. Working closely to, look at it line by line. Kathy and I spent the entire day last week literally going through the budget line by line, so that we're confident that the preliminary budget makes a lot of sense for what we're trying to do. I can also report that I'm fairly confident that this preliminary budget will come in a bit lower than what we call that first look budget that we provided in November. The reason for that is, in November, you're so far ahead of the curve that you don't really know what kind of revenues to expect for grants and for revolving and all these sort of things. So you understandably take a conservative view if you don't know what the situation's going to be. So as numbers start to come in, it looks slightly better. Of course, at the same time, the town needs to update its revenue plan. Their last update was in November. But the budget season really kicks off in late January when the general government holds its public budget hearing and starts to sharpen the pencil with revenue. So the dialogue will begin in early to mid-February, and I think we're in good shape.
And I think from finance planning, one of the major saving areas continues to be healthcare, health insurance costs. And the town administrators is continuing to work with the selectmen on that issue. There's also some movement in the legislature. We've heard that the Speaker of the House may make some proposals in terms of, how town and city employees are provided with health insurance, so that'll be interesting to follow that. Also, I believe the governor's budget, will be governor's budget will be out on January 21st, is it? 19th?
19th is the day that, but on or about.
On or about. And so that will start to give us a pretty good feeling. We don't know until the House and the Senate get it, but we'll have an idea as to whether he's going to be recommending any cuts in local aid. And the state still apparently